Hey guys, hi, my name is Amit and I'm back with the next episode of the Desk Talk Show with Mulya Ed. Today we have with us, our colleague Akansha Tiwari. Akansha works with Mulya on one of our very important projects as an automation engineer, and she's been around the space of software testing for a while now. We got to know her very recently, and I think as part of this conversation, I'll get to know you even better. Great. So we'll get started with a quick introduction. Would you like to talk about, who you are, where do you come from?
Sure, why not? So, hello everyone. So, I'm Akansha and I belong to Kanpur, UP, and I studied there until class 12th, and then I moved to Bangalore for my further studies. I did my engineering from one of the colleges from Bangalore, and I did my electronics and communication. But then I soon realized the market, and then I moved towards software testing.
Nice.
And I started my journey in software testing field. It's been around almost 8.5 years I'm working. I did my master's from London. I currently stay in New Delhi, and I'm working for Mulya.
Got it.
So that's a very short description about me.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks, Akansha. Thanks for joining us. Akansha, you mentioned you did your graduation here in Bangalore. Which year was this?
So I did my graduation from 2009 to 2013.
Okay. And why did you choose Bangalore for your graduation?
Very lame answer for that. I mean, when I was doing my class 12th, all of my friends and all, they opted to go for IITs or NITs, or they were like doing engineering from Delhi or somewhere nearby places. I knew that I'm not very intelligent and I won't be able to crack IIT for sure. So
we are in the same boat.
Yeah. So I didn't want to opt the same path as others. I didn't want to do the graduation from New Delhi or nearby. I don't know, by stroke of luck, I got the chance to write this Comet K exam. And then I got a very good ranking here. And then I realized, why not to travel a bit far, understand myself. And that decision came out very well because, I think the kind of personality I developed while like coming here in Bangalore and studying, I think it was something different.
True. I think sure as getting yourself out of your comfort zone. I remember the first time when I came to Bangalore in 2015. I came to Bangalore once in 2014. I was here for a few days. But the time when I came in 2015, for the first few months, very difficult to adjust with everything. But somehow, if that had not happened, the kind of personalities, as I said, the kind of environment we are in today, that might have not happened. And it would have been like a parallel world, we don't know.
Yeah, I know.
So, but then you came down to Bangalore. Why did you choose electronics and communication?
So actually, I was very good in maths and physics.
Okay.
And I was very interested to do something in physics. I thought electronics and communication would be a better option.
Okay.
That time, I think when I was, doing my 12th, we didn't have smartphones.
Yeah.
So that time, we had a very limited knowledge.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to explore much fields that time.
True.
So I thought, okay, since I know physics well, I do good in maths, let's do electronics and communication.
Yeah.
And that's why I came and I did electronics and communication.
Makes sense. I was really naive at that point. I remember, I think I had an LG Reliance black and white phone at that time, 2008-9 period. I think that's the difference between that time to this time. Last 1 year, 10 years, a decade, there's people have a lot more information available, right in front of them. So
that's right.
A lot more clarity in what the domain will be, what graduation to do in, and all of those.
I mean, I remember when my 12th result came or my 10th results came, board results, we used to go to this cafe.
Yeah,
right?
Cyber cafe
To check our results.
Yeah.
I remember those days, and now see the days.
Yeah,
so
it's on mobile.
We have a lot of information now for kids who are growing up.
Yeah.
I wish I could have this era. But never mind. Life is good.
Yeah, good. So you came to Bangalore 2013. You completed your graduation. How was Bangalore like at that point? Like tech-wise and obviously weather-wise?
Yeah. Well, when I came to Bangalore, I didn't knew anything that Bangalore is the Silicon Valley, it's a IT city. I really didn't have it, but I don't know, but somehow I think my stars were getting aligned for where I am right now. I just came because I wanted to opt a very different path. I don't wanted to opt like how others are doing, my friends are doing. So only that thing was there in my mind, and I came to Bangalore. While doing my engineering, I realized, okay, there are a few companies here and we can make use of this opportunity. Only in my last year, I realized, okay, Bangalore is giant tech in hub area, and especially related to software industry. That's why during my last year of engineering, I changed. I wanted to go to the software industry, even though I'm from like hardware sector in terms of like
Electronics and communication.
Yeah, electronics and communication. Then I started studying about what like other coding languages, manual testing.
As part of a graduation also, were there any programming language
Yes.
training was there?
Yeah, I had one subject where we did studied Java.
Okay.
I think that was an optional for me.
Okay.
But we didn't learn much from there, like how it's just all theories and few programs here and there. The actual knowledge is when you really work into that
True.
advanced level, and also like OOPS and like what we say, data structures and all that. That actually comes handy while you are working or when you are actually applying for the jobs.
Yeah. So, was there anybody in your circle who told you learn software testing, their jobs in software testing?
No. I just had 3-4 of my friends here who were from North India. Others were like from here, but none of them were like interested, or they were like from other fields, but none of them were interested to work in software industries or software testing or in software as a whole. They were one from the mechanical background, one was from the EEEE.
Yeah.
So they all were into different fields, and I think this just was happening as in when I was growing. I had a bit of exposure of the internet, and I was getting to know what the industry is. And then as I said, like at the very last year of my engineering, I was trying to scroll what I should do, where should I land, and then I realized, okay, Bangalore is the IT hub. Then I understood, okay, out of 100 jobs that are coming in, 90% of the jobs are for the software industries.
Yeah.
Then I thought, okay, since the market is huge, why to aim for the 10%?
Correct.
Let's go for 90%.
Correct.
Because at that time, we just had only one agenda or one goal in mind: to land a job.
Yeah, correct.
So that time I realized, okay, 90% of the market is software industry.
True.
Let's move from this to 90% because I really want a job.
True.
So that was the way
But how did you discover software testing?
Software testing. Okay. So since I said like I was from the like electronics background, I didn't knew anything about the software. I did study Java, and that was very like high level. So
highest level possible.
Yeah, and then but I had this thing in mind. Okay, this is the software industry, and I need to explore the software industry. And I started searching for nearby training institutes.
Okay.
Of my when I was in the I had given my final exams.
Okay.
So I was searching for this. So I came to BTM. I stayed there because I knew that was cheapest area in Bangalore for students or like for job seekers. So I stayed in BTM. And then I started searching or looking out for like software industry, like software testing institutes or coaching institute. And then I found one, good one. And then from there, actually, I started, I wanted to explore any field. So I studied manual testing there, and I studied Java.
Okay.
So that's
Was it helpful?
Yeah, it was helpful because they gave me interview invites. So I got interview invites of 3 companies from there. First of them, I failed ridiculously. I didn't even cross the benchmark of that aptitude test. Then when I failed, I came back with broken heart, and because I was like out in just one single round, first round itself. And then I remember my teacher, my professor who was there, who used to teach us Java. They told whoever are getting kicked out in the just first round or aptitude round, just remember that just the IT gatekeeper who's there, they themselves are kicking you out. And that word actually hit me hard. I went ahead and I started studying aptitude, and after that I started clearing all the aptitude rounds.
Yeah, listening to you reminds me of my first interviews also, very bad interviews. So happens with everybody.
Yeah.
So then you joined a training institute, you got some good training. What was the most important piece, getting the interview invites or getting the training there? Both were as important.
Because both were important reason, because I was not into software testing, not into software at all. And to understand how the software works, how these industry works, how the testing works, even for Java also they used to teach the most aligned interview questions like around it. I started learning data structures. I started learning Java as in to crack the interviews.
Got it, yeah.
So that really helped me. Even the notes, because before going for any interviews, I used to study those notes. And through those notes only I got the jobs.
So how long did it take for you from joining the training to getting the first job?
So I joined in May or something.
Okay.
And I got my first job in November. That was... Then December I had another opportunity for... So November and December I got 2 job offers. I chose to go with... Then I started working from March.
Okay, so 2014 March you started working with them. How long did you work with them?
2 years.
And there, when you joined, was your role already identified that you're going to join as a software test engineer?
Because I gave the interview for software testing.
And was there any training after joining also?
There was no, not for us. Because we had, I'm not sure, but for software testing there is one certification very important. ISTQB. So I had this demand that whoever had cleared those rounds or in those interviews, those candidates necessarily have to clear ISTQB before joining.
Okay.
So we had cleared this ISTQB in pressure because we need this job.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'll not be able. Even though we have cleared the interviews, but we'll not be able to get the job. So we cleared this ISTQB, and for all those who cleared ISTQB, they didn't have this FLP program.
Okay. No training after that.
No training. We were directly onboarded for projects.
So, so you done that. What kind of work did you do in the first few years with?
So I was sent to Chennai for first year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how was that?
Oh no, I was like broken. All my friends were here. I didn't know people. So firstly, that trauma was there, and then leaving friends, everyone. But then we didn't had much of option. We had to go and join. So we did join. Then after that, after some time, we got settled in there. And the project actually I worked was, I got a very good project, very good mentors. I remember my time, there was one mentor and my managers they were based out of Canada and US. So we were working in actually UK timings. So I got to learn a lot. That was my learning period. It's a learning period, but I can say I was learning a lot, and having the right mentor with you really makes a great difference in terms of your working, in terms of how you can approach the software testing field, how you can work in a job efficiently. Everything changed. So luckily I had a really good mentor that
Which year is this?
2014 to 2016.
2014 to 2016. And this mentor was there throughout that period?
No. So he was there only for initial 7, 8, 9 months. Okay. I don't exactly remember the months. But then since he taught me so well, I started working so efficiently that I was getting noticed in US and Canada because my development team and others were based out of US and Canada. So I became as an acting lead after him.
Oh, okay, nice.
Even though I was just a year old, and they transferred me. So, but I placed a condition there that if you want me to work in this project, you give me the transfer to Bangalore because I cannot stay in that. So yeah, they gave me transfer to Bangalore. Okay. I became as an acting lead. I had a team to handle in Pune. Okay. I had a team to report in US and Canada. So I was stretching a lot in terms of times.
Okay.
So I started working morning like 10 a.m. and I was working until 3 a.m. night. It was those hours. But yeah, sometimes it's like, sometimes the journey is hard, but the outcomes are really
important. And I think it is very important to have that journey. And if not, then when? I mean, that was the best year to do it.
I mean, what I learned during those years, even though I stretched my timing, there was a lot of work pressure, but how to handle team, how to communicate with the clients, how you can run a project efficiently, single-handedly, all those things, all those knowledge I gained from there.
Yeah.
And that was very important. That is a turning point for me.
So why did you choose to get out of?
So it's really important to come out of certain comfort zone if you want to, achieve something. In terms of technical knowledge also, I was getting stagnant at a place. In a project as well, and you see the technology keeps on moving, it keeps advancing, and if you are working in a project, those technologies are there for like very long period, and if you don't move to another one or another company, you keep your technical skills at stagnant. So I was working as a manual tester. I kept working for 2 years. I understood how the project works, how we can, but I really wanted to learn and grow in terms of technical skills. I wanted to enhance myself. So that's why I moved away from that company.
Got it.
And also one more pressure was that I was handling a lot of pressure. As I said, I was not sleeping well. There was a lot of work pressure as well. But then I wanted to move from manual to automation sector. That's why I moved.
What's your happiest memory of working with?
Happiest memory?
Moving to Bangalore.
Moving to Bangalore. Happiest memories are, I think, I remember the days, now it's all work from home, right?
Yeah.
But I remember the days when we used to go to offices and give interviews.
Yeah.
So my favorite time pass, or you can say my favorite thing to do, is always keep giving the interviews.
Okay.
So I used to go to these offices every time, whenever I get free time. It's not like necessarily I'm searching for a job. It's just to keep myself in like latest shoes.
Yeah.
That's why I keep giving the interviews, because that's how I keep learning where I'm going and what I should learn.
Yeah.
And I used to keep going to these new offices, explore, and then I used to remember, oh, this office is really nice. I should try for giving the interviews here, try for the job in this company. So I had the scooty, so I always used to travel around the scooty, give the interviews, and from there I actually tried to learn which are the good companies where I should work. So I remember those days.
Interviewing is also a good way to learn. You do 3 interviews, you learn whatever has happened.
I mean, you know what? Initially, when I was changing the job to another company, I had a lot of challenges in finding the first job. Second job, you mean? Because I was in manual testing, the market was really upgraded to another new technology. So I gave like 7-8 interviews and I was not able to clear any of the rounds.
Okay.
So, but then as I said, like you keep going, you learn from your failures, right?
Yeah.
And you keep learning what kind of questions are being asked, what technologies are being used. I used to come back, redo those interviews in my head, in my own mind. And then I used to realize, okay, these were the failures. There is something that I'm missing. Sometimes people are like very confident in their own self, like, oh, I gave very nice interview, right? I think the interview itself is like not that great.
Correct.
He was not able to judge me properly. That's why people do have that mindset.
Correct.
But no, having that mindset is wrong.
Yeah.
Because you need to come back and realize like what you said is really right or not.
Correct.
So you need to redo, you need to rework. So having the criticism, having that feedback in a very positive way and reworking on yourself. I am still really working on myself. Every day is a rework. I still go back and study. I'm still studying.
True. It is same like in exams, we used to write a lot in the paper.
Yeah.
Come back home, anybody asks how was the paper, it was good.
I remember.
But the marks are not good. So, okay, then what happened after that? You changed your job to the next company. Did you get an opportunity to learn more things there?
Yes, absolutely. So as I said, like I was working towards getting an automation job. Because I wanted to work into automation. So then I was just learning through Google, YouTube that time. I think we didn't have those Udemy and that time. So I was just learning through
wherever
all
possible.
those, open sources. I gave few interviews. I was just failing very miserably there. And then I actually got an automation job in one of the service sector.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was because I was the only automation tester there. So I got that job. But then at the very beginning, they told me to just build a framework, testing framework. Yeah, and I didn't know what the framework means. And I had just 1.5 weeks to do the framework.
Then?
I started studying what the framework means. Nothing is impossible in this world.
Correct.
You get some job. Now I can say, you give me any job.
Correct.
I will work my, ass off, but I will complete that job. Given time. So I was working hard. I asked many people what the framework means, what's the right framework should I implement. And from there, the journey again started.
And you were able to deliver it in 1.5 weeks?
Yes, I was.
Very nice.
I was able to deliver. But it was a lot of hard work, a lot of challenges. Nothing comes with a very easy.
Correct. How long did you work with them?
So, frankly speaking, I changed a lot of companies. Because I never settled for one company. People are there who do work in one company a lot. But in my job career, I think I've changed 7-8 companies up till now, which is not good. And good for some reasons. In terms of money wise, it's good. But in terms of getting your technical skills at the par, it's good. But having the consistency is not good. People do have a dual mindset about it. But for me, it helped me in terms of...
I'm completing 9 years today.
You in the same company? Wow. So I know, I think then our thoughts won't be aligned with this process, because I changed a lot of companies, like 1 year, 1.5 years. Some companies I worked for 6 months. Some of them are not officially noted because it's just one month I worked there. I didn't find it good. I left those companies because I was constantly giving these interviews, and I was so pro in giving the interviews that I used to crack some good companies, and that's how I landed into some really good, amazing companies.
Nice. When was the switch from working in India? I saw on your profile you'd worked with for some time around the COVID period.
Yes.
How long did you work with them?
I was working for, and then I got a really good opportunity to work. So I was working as SDET2 there. During that phase itself, I was trying to go for London.
Okay.
And when things got, fruitful, or like it were resulted or something in a positive manner, then I had to resign that company because I had to, unfortunately or fortunately, had to travel to London. Otherwise, I wouldn't have left that company because that was something very good company for me.
Work-wise, money-wise?
Work-wise, management-wise. It was also very awesome. I think they are working the same lines. So we had a really good team. I was learning a lot. And I really want to work in those companies which are not micromanaged. Just for giving an example, I work for another company. I won't name that company. It's a very big company. I don't want to speak that name of the company.
That's okay.
But it was badly micromanaged. Like every 5 minutes, manager used to come and ask how much is done. And though that environment becomes a toxic.
True. True.
So I left that company in 1 month itself. And when I tell people that I worked in that company for 1 month, people are amazed. People are like, really? You have worked in that company just for 1 month? How can people do die in getting the job in that company?
True.
So yeah, for me, the work culture is very important.
No, it is, what you said is true. And I think what also happens is, luckily or unluckily, fortunately, unfortunately, the kind of people you find there. I'm sure in that company there are many other people who would be, not as micromanaged or would want to micromanage as much.
I'm sure.
So, but yeah, it is the person you find, and it is the destiny. It takes you where it takes you.
Correct.
So, I think most engineers today, people who are in the knowledge industry, don't like to be micromanaged, and they don't need to be micromanaged. They're already, if they've gone through your interviews, if they've proved themselves. There's something that I tell a lot of people at Mulia as well, that the first instinct has to be the instinct of trust. The new person comes in, you have to trust them.
Yes.
If you start with not trusting them, then it's very difficult. You start with trust, and then if the other person doesn't deliver or deliberately doesn't do something and it keeps doing multiple times, then as human beings, we tend to create judgments. But the first thing has to be of trust. And if you are trusting somebody, you don't need that micromanagement.
True. I mean, it becomes so unhealthy too.
True.
I mean, I can't work in that kind of a pressure where people are coming and asking maybe even 4 times a day. I don't want that.
So there's one thing that a lot of people will want to know is, you've left jobs, right? Did you leave any job without having the next job ready for you?
Yes.
How many times have you done that?
Every time.
Every time. So you have resigned and then started looking.
I'm not telling that just for the sake of podcast, but that is true. I've always left my job whenever I found it unhealthy.
Yeah.
In terms of my work, or in terms of my progress as well.
Yeah.
When I'm getting too much comfortable in any company, I really want to move. I'm not sure whether this should be an ideal way to do it, but it really benefited me in terms of my learning. It kept me updated, and also in terms of salary wise.
Yeah. There are both pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, both are pros and cons,
Yeah.
because if you are going for another interviews, HRs or like management, they are really keen in asking like, why are you changing so many companies?
Yeah.
And in India, I'm sure people are still okay about it. But when I went to London and I tried to show these many changes, people do ask about it, and people are very much concerned about it, because this culture is not there. People do work in like companies for years and years.
True.
So I had to really reason out my change or something.
Yeah. And you were able to get the job. That means that they were able to understand your concerns.
I mean, you really need to understand the market.
Yeah.
Well.
So what happened? Okay, then you made that move. First of all, you had already worked for 4, 5 years, 6 years. And then having that, the thought also of going back to study, going back to academics, how did that come?
I remember that when I was very little, I used to see these movies, English movies or Hindi movies. Even I can say the Mohabbat, if you remember.
Yeah.
Or like maybe one of the Hindi movie, I don't remember. But they had these very good university backgrounds.
Yeah.
Actually, they were shooting
larger than life.
Yeah, larger than life. And I used to remember my life also that way.
Yeah.
That even when I'll be like graduating or when I have the chance, I'll go abroad.
Yeah.
I'll be studying in same kind of universities. I'll be having same atmosphere, same vibe. So that thought was very much inculcated in me from very childhood. And even though when I did my engineering, that never phased out of my mind. I was like always focused, I want to go someday. But that time I didn't have budget. I mean, I cannot keep asking my parents to keep providing me funds.
Correct.
So when I really saved some amount or something and I was good to start my another journey, I was doing, so then in 2021 I moved to London to do my master's. Just to fulfill my dreams. And also there is one more background story about it. Not just this, when I was working I realized like people from the management background, like because only hires like IIMs, people from IIMs and other very top notch. So they were there in the product, and they had a very good vision, and the way they used to speak used to fascinate me a lot. And like when they were speaking, people used to listen.
Yeah.
Like they are saying something valuable.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be at that position.
Yeah.
And I thought, since I'm already a technical person, technical skills, if I add a management, it'll become like a full 360 degree
full package.
Full package. So I thought, okay, why not, let's go for MBA. And anyways, I had this childhood dream, so everything came together, and then I moved in 2021.
Were you married at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
I got married in 2019.
2019. And you said your husband was also working.
So he was working here.
Oh, he was working.
He was working here. I moved that time. Then he got a job through
Okay.
So he had this opportunity to travel.
Oh, okay.
Between. So that's.
So that also worked out.
Yeah.
So once you were there, what difference did you see in your graduation that you did here, and in the learnings that you got there in your masters?
The most important learning is about the practical knowledges. I mean, here you are being forced, or you are you can only clear exams when you are going and reading the books. That's how I did my engineering. I used to read. I used to
learn.
But there, most of the things are based on practical assessments. So they used to give the assessments. We used to go do the research. We were working in groups together. Somehow, for some of the projects, we were working individually. For some of the projects, we were working groups. We were doing that practical knowledge. We were going and researching about the companies, doing that, taking the things bit out of that, and then doing this assessment. So the most of the learning came from that practical knowledge. How, for example, in real life we are doing. The actual learning is coming when you are working in a project, a real-time project. True. And that's how you learn the things. And that's how there also the studies are aligned in the same manner, where you really go and do the assessment, you really do the research. Let's say you want to start a startup, and how you want to do it. So they give you something of like that sort, like you have some idea how you build a company, how you rework the process. So you need to do it from a very scratch level. They'll not give you any books.
And you're scored on those practical experiences?
Yes.
Okay. But they still have exams, theory exams?
Only for one subject I remember they had, that was finance.
Okay.
For others, it was all assessments, practical. Like we used to submit the reports.
Okay.
And assessment reports.
You were graded on that.
And presentations.
Okay.
So there were many presentations. There were many reports.
I want to focus a little bit on the finance side of it, because you're already in a job, you're getting salary month on month, right? And going from that point to going back to academic, spending money, not getting a salary, how much did it cost you?
Firstly, I'll say it was a very, very big decision for me, because I was earning really decently and losing everything, because I was settled here, I was married, I was getting good salary, leaving everything behind and going and starting a journey from the very scratch was a very, very hard decision to make. Yeah. And that was a very COVID period when I went. Yeah. And I lost my father-in-law recently during that phase. So everything came in between. But yeah, as I said, I always go for the harder ways. I came for Bangalore because there was nobody. So I always travel the trail which is hard for me, which nobody actually advises. So I did that. About the finances, yes, it was very hard, because I had some of the stuff for me that I like savings, which I could use for my living expenses and all. I used that, and then I took a study loan, student loan. I'm not very well versed in terms of finances from my parents' side, or I cannot go and ask. So I went for this education loan, tried to find a education loan which gave me without collateral. Okay. Because I got a good university, and so I got a very good ranking, very good scholarship. Oh, I got a scholarship also. Oh, okay, nice. So almost like around, I can say 60% of my was scholarship. Nice.
So how much did it cost?
46
overall.
So overall, if tuition fee was around 35 lakhs, I got
after scholarship.
No, before scholarship.
Before scholarship.
35 lakhs. I'm not talking about the living expense. Yeah. 35 lakhs for my tuition fee. I got a scholarship of 15,000 pounds.
15 lakhs.
Yeah. And then remaining I funded myself from student loan, and then I have my expenses, living expenses around 12-13 lakhs with me saved.
Yeah.
So I used that. At the end, I knew that my husband is working in case if some sort of emergency would be there, some
He
money
will be
he
able to
can.
handle.
He can.
And did you also work while studying?
So fortunately, I got a job during my study phase. So I started working. So we have this internship program, the last 4-5 months, where you can project, either you can do a full-time job, 40 hours of job, and you can project that as a internship, or you can get a company, like from the college itself, you can work for some internship. I was searching for a job from January itself. Like, so I went in 2021 September. I started searching for a job in January, February. Market was a bit stable that time, and since I was experienced in software testing, so I was lucky to get a good job.
Yeah.
So they were keen to, and I started working from April. Even though I was eligible only to work for 20 hours, I started working as a part-time.
Okay.
So the company allowed me to work for 20 hours.
Okay.
And when I was eligible to work for 40 hours from June, I guess, from April mid, I started working as part-time. So I started getting really good salary that time.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to rely on my savings or something. So I got a backup, really good backup.
Yeah.
And then from June, I guess, I started working as a full-time. So I really got it.
Got it. You were comfortable. And these opportunities that you got, they were also in software testing, software automation.
Yes, it was.
And so, did you not want to have a product? Did you not want to pivot into a product role compared to an engineering
As
role?
I said, I do analyze the market very well. So when I was doing my MBA, I was analyzing the market in London. I analyzed the salary, how much I would land when I would, let's say, move into product entirely, or if I do the techno-managerial sort of a kind of a role. I thought a benefit would be to have this 7-8 years, 6-7 years of backup that I have, and then keep moving in the same direction in the London market, or start from the scratch in the product, because the salary for those would be a bit less.
Yeah.
Compared to what I would get if I project my experience.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose. And there's no harm, because I was doing good. I had this good sort of automation knowledge, good sort of manual knowledge, managing the team everywhere. I didn't want to lose that part as well, because doing the product alone is like
new thing altogether.
Yeah, it's a personal choice basically.
True. What message would you have for all the people who might be watching this, who have done a couple years of work in software testing, and they also feel that they have, maybe touched a ceiling, and maybe money-wise or skill-wise, learning-wise. And they've thought about it. They've not given a deep thought, but they've thought about, maybe going back to academics, learning something else, and then taking that jump, leveraging that learning. What is your message? Should they do it, not do it? I would also, at the same point, think of, in your batch, you said you were the first person to get the job. I'm sure there will be a lot of other people.
First person to start working also.
There were a lot of other people who could not have gotten those jobs as well. So keeping that in mind, what's your message to these guys?
So my main message is, don't get settled in one place. Even if you are working or comfortable, you keep learning. That's very much important. And then to get yourself evaluated, you keep giving the interviews, because that's how you learn where you are and what level you want to go. How much you still want to learn, or where exactly the market is, because all of a sudden you never know how the market is created. Like, for example, current situation, recession. You never know when you get redundant from a company. You never know where exactly you land up. So to save yourself and also to keep enhancing, you really want to evaluate where you are and what is the market condition. So just go out in the market. Still, if you don't want to, change the job, don't change the job, but at least evaluate yourself. And then when you learn, okay, these are the skill sets that I'm not aware of, and the market is so much crazy about these skill set, money wise it's good, start learning those. I think there's nothing wrong, or nothing will harm if you dedicate 2 hours a week or 3 hours a week.
But leaving a job and learning, how do you recommend?
Leaving a job and learning depends on person to person, I guess. If person is very much stable, they have a financial backup. Even though they don't have a financial backup, but they have something saved, I think it's a good idea. Or if person is crazy about changing the job sector
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
they're crazy about moving to another, like for example, London.
How passionate they are.
Yeah,
about
how
it.
passionate. For example, they have a good choice here. But my case is like, see, I always had a choice to come back
Yeah.
to India. I always had a choice to find another job in quick span of time,
Yeah.
because I was in that rotation of giving the interviews. So if things won't work out, I still had a plan B. So yeah, move out. Don't be afraid of taking the things. If you have plan B, you have financial backup, you are ready to learn, you are still at that phase that you can still learn and
Yeah.
can still study, because obviously you get out of touch of that studies.
I think you have the confidence in yourself
Yeah.
that you'll be able to do well, survive.
Yes.
So you had a work visa there.
Yes. I still do have work visa.
So, then making this decision, I understand you shared some family reasons. Making that decision to come back and work here again, how easy or difficult was it for you?
It's really difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, I still am in that phase. I mean, people might not understand what I'm trying to say, but I really like the work culture there, the vibe, the atmosphere, the learning. I mean, the learning sphere is a lot. I mean, the kind of technologies that they use there is coming in India. For example, people are not much trained in Playwright or WebDriver IO or Cypress. Still, they are working in Selenium. Most of the 60% of the projects are still in Selenium. But their people are, nobody's looking at Selenium. Everyone are looking at like very high-end technologies. So, I mean, in terms of learning, in terms of lifestyle, everything is good there. I mean, if a person really wants to upgrade themselves and they have been and they have tasted that thing, I think they'll be a bit difficult for them, unless it's a family thing or something.
Yeah.
They have to come back.
Yeah.
For my case, it was a family thing. So I'm still that zone. I still miss some section of London.
So now that you've done these 8-9 years, you've made these choices, you've moved around. Now I think so I tell a lot of testers also that there are two ways to live your life as a tester. One is you can, have a great chill time, and the other is you can be an adventurous sailor. The meaning is, chill is when you find a big issue, you may not raise it to a larger audience, you would just raise it to one person, get him to fix it, and then go about it without the adventure of it. Or you might not even raise it because you're now too late in the cycle. You decide to not raise that issue because if you raise it, then there'll be a lot of problems. The release will get delayed, you will get questioned, all of that. So you can decide to not do that and have a chill life where your shelf life might be lower because you're doing that. But on the other side, on the adventurous side, you can raise all those issues. You can be really active at it, really enthusiastic about finding challenges, finding problems, and then solve them. Where you might get a lot more backlash from people. You'll get into a lot more friction, a lot more fights, but you will enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
And you will have a bigger life, shelf life for yourself personally.
Yeah.
So those are two ways of living a life as a software tester. But I think in a job as well, they're both. Again, I think between you and me completing 9 years at the same organization, you completing 9 years with multiple organizations, both are, I think, it's similar. An adventurous life, an adventurous career, and really happy that we got to cover this for our audience. Now that you've done these many years, what is next for you?
It's a very difficult question because I really don't know about the answer, to be very frank. I mean, what is next is like, as and when things keep coming, I keep moving forward. In terms of job also, I want to keep moving forward. Now I'm into SDET field. I really wanted to try a bigger level. I wanted to crack some good companies. I'm still learning. I'm still attending these. I have these weekend classes right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm learning this HLD and LLD right now.
Okay.
So I wanted to move purely into development sector.
Okay.
Now that I'm a bit of doing a coding so far, so I'm enjoying that.
Okay.
I know let's do a full time.
Okay.
I'm trying to shift to that era.
Okay.
It's a personal choice, totally. And my personal choice is like, okay, let's do that. So I'm trying for that. I'm trying for bigger A-listers companies.
Okay.
In terms of like, so I'm trying to understand the interview process, going through their data structures modules, what kind of questions they are. I'm trying to practice all that. So that is in line in terms of my career wise. In terms of non-career wise, I want to become a makeup artist.
Okay.
I want to become a DJ.
Oh, nice.
So all those are like my
how are you picking that up? Like, what are you doing to
So
move in
from
that
next
direction?
month I'll be, so I'm, as I told, like right now I'm shifting to Delhi. From next month I'll be doing this DJ course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
Oh, there's a course in DJ?
yeah, 2 months course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I know these are like bit of my things that I enjoy after work, or not just work, like apart from my latest hobbies. So yeah, that are my passion. So I'm
very
working also towards the passion. I don't know which will win, whether my current career or my passion
Yeah.
in near future.
Yeah. How much hold does money have on you? Like a month-on-month money that comes, how much hold does it have on you? The question comes more from the passions that you spoke of, right? Let's say you get a chance to embrace being a DJ, but at a much lower pay compared to what you do today. Would you take the call, not take the call?
I would take the call.
Or you would take the call?
As I said, like I was working good. When I was working in, I really had a good, everything was settled. I had a good package. But then I left everything because I wanted to go there. Because from childhood I had a dream to go to abroad, study in those kind of universities. So that's why I took that chance. Because you always have a plan B to come back.
True.
Nothing is stopping you. So I would obviously go for that passion, because that is drain inside me. And I'll be much happier even though I get paid less, because that would be my passion.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work,
You can always go
you
back.
can always.
I think, having that confidence in your skin that, I can always go back and do this is the main differentiator.
Yeah.
And that sets you apart from many others.
Yeah.
It was great talking to you.
Thank you so much
Really
for having
nice
me.
having you here. And thank you very much for sharing your story.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
sure a lot of people will get to learn a lot of stuff from you.
Thank you.